This is Kendra.
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons.
Where she's in one camp and I'm in the other.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when you brought up how Maya meant like mother or the goddess of motherhood or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't look into this on the interwebs. I just saw a video of Rick talking on Instagram, and he was going over some of the props, some of the really cool props from the show.
Uh-huh.
And he picks up the shoes, and he mentions that Maya is the name of Hermes' mother. So it's not just the goddess of motherhood, at least in Rick's universe. I didn't fact check this, but to Rick, Maya is the name of Hermes' mom. So it's
okay, so it doesn't
Luke's
sound...
grandma.
It's not quite as bad as I was making it sound like.
Or it is. It might still be. But
yeah.
It's just funny because he made the passcode to the shoes his mom's name.
His mom.
So anyways, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, speaking of that, in case you guys don't know that, our listeners, the two we have. I'm just joking. There are a lot of really cute little videos on Percy series, I think it is, right? Mm-hmm. Instagram and Percy series, and they've done several cute little behind the scenes things or talks with Rick or whatever. So
yeah, that video with Rick was really cool.
Yeah,
it was just cool to get his perspective on the props and stuff, and I just love knowing what he thinks about everything happening.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, then we'll go into the recap now. We finished up episode 3, going over obviously the meat of the episode we went over last.
The meat and potatoes.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes, because we went over Medusa and all of our thoughts and feelings about her. She was amazing. Her place, which was totally different. The whole fight scene, which was okay. And and how they handled the head. And then ending with...
them being all friends. They're all friends now.
Oh, okay. I was going to talk about the elevator scene, but sure.
And Hermes.
And Hermes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's how we ended that.
Good. So we spoil all of book 1, all of season 1 of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians TV series continuously. So don't forget that if you haven't finished the whole show or the whole book, they're gonna be spoilers. If we talk about other books, we'll do an extra... warning, alert, big old spoilers. So
yeah, you'll get a chance to skip if you need to.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So before we actually get into the scenes, the first scene or the first not scene as it will be.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, in case anybody's wondering by this, I think this might be our 9th episode. Like, Brianna and I actually really do love the TV series. Yeah. We are doing a podcast, which the sole purpose is to break it down and be critical of the things that have changed. And also, nostalgicness is a thing. Like when you grow up or when you read books so much and you love them and you get into them, it is sometimes hard to see things change when you would love to see what's in the books. But when it comes down to just pushing that aside, the TV show itself is ultimately amazing. So just in case anybody's wondering.
Very excited for season 2.
Yeah, we are going to watch it. We are not
to follow it every week. Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that in case somebody was wondering. We do really love it. We just, this is what we're doing. This is a podcast. So
yeah, if you want to listen about how great every single part of the show is and no negative feedback, Mike Schubert.
Listen to him break down each of the episodes. Yeah, totally.
Listen to the newest Olympians because that's what we listened to first.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, wow. Okay, well, but he doesn't get into the differences. Which is why we wanted to do this.
Yeah, you can go to Newest Olympian. You have to go back to his the episodes where he actually is covering it because now he's onto something else. So. Yeah. Okay, good. I did want to start though with this scene that did not happen, and that's just the whole chapter 12 of the book. We completely skip. Is it necessary to the story? No.
So chapter 12, just to clarify, is they find the poodle.
Well,
they talk to the poodle. Yeah. They get onto a train, right?
Well, they don't get into the train yet, but chapter 12 is them spending the night in the woods. So they left Medusa's and they're spending the night in the woods. Although,
and then Grover's
I don't know why they didn't spend the night in Medusa's place when they killed her.
It was just creepy.
Just creepy.
Okay,
all
those dead
dead people. Yeah. So they sleep in the woods and they're they're gonna take turns in the night. But then Grover just tells Percy to go to sleep. And it is very important in this scene is Percy's dream, which they sort of, which I guess I'll go over when we do scene 1, because then it hits a dream there.
Yeah.
But we do find out from Grover this is the first time in the book that he brings up Pan.
Yeah.
So we haven't heard about Pan yet.
But this episode
So it does go with that, but that happens in the woods. So they just fit it in elsewhere.
Which is good, because that is important.
Mm-hmm.
And something that the movies, something that Rick, like, criticized the original movies for was, like, where is Grover's quest? Where is Grover's...
Well, Grover has, like, no purpose in the movies. He's a sidekick or something.
He's just, like, a... randy teenager. I don't know how,
like, oh yeah, that's right. He's that too
is in the movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
he's so weird.
They messed that up.
He's so different.
So, but yeah, in the book, this is where you kind of hear more about that whole thing. So I think they already said it. No, they didn't. So they are going to say it. Sorry, you just said that.
Yeah,
they are going to say it in this episode. So he moves that forward. The only thing we don't meet here is the poodle, and the one important thing about the poodle that is not explained here is this is how they get money to get on the train.
Yeah, because they lost their backpacks.
Yeah, they
have no money.
Any money.
They did steal a few drachmas from Medusa's lair in the book, although
but you can't buy a train ticket with drachmas.
No, but they do have some magic money. Yeah, but they don't have any way to buy a ticket until they find the poodle.
So, in case anybody forgets, the poodle scene is great. Grover, I think, is it a pink poodle? Was it like a dyed pink
it's
poodle?
It's definitely dyed some colors. I don't know if it's pink or not.
And it wasn't like a magical animal, but it was just an animal that Grover could talk to, because Grover can talk to animals, I guess.
And this poodle had to run away from home because he hated his... the people who dyed him different colors, because most dogs aren't a fan of that.
He ran away, but he was more being dramatic than anything, because he's like, fine, if you want to return me, you'll get the reward that she's whatever, and then you can go to the train. And they're like, thanks.
Yeah.
But there is the really cute little line that a lot of people like. It's like favorite lines of Percy Jackson. It's one of them.
I said hi to the poodle, right?
Yeah.
Is it that?
Yeah, but it's the whole thing where they said, Percy, meet Gladiola, Percy. And then he says, like, I stared at Annabeth, figuring she'd crack up at this practical joke they were playing on me, but she looked deadly serious. I said, I'm not saying hello to a pink poodle. Forget it. And then Annabeth says, Percy, I said hello to the poodle. You say hello to the poodle. And then he says, the poodle growled. I said hello to the poodle. So that cute little scene. But whatever. I mean, again, it's not really important to the whole thing. So
no, but it is like another bit of Grover's usefulness.
Yeah.
In that, because he gets to ride west, right? He goes out with his woodland magic and finds a lost animal, and I mean, that's all his doing.
Yeah.
And the fact he could talk to it and everything. So,
and I like the fact that
his usefulness,
Yeah. I like the fact that Gladiola somehow knows the train schedule, because it says, according to Gladiola, the westbound train leaves at noon.
Maybe she goes on the train a lot, like in a little bag,
I don't know. It's kind of funny. But yeah, that's how they get the money to get on the train. So we don't get to see that in the TV series. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, I did note, like, no explanation of how or why they're on a train.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing. It's just like, he wakes up on a train, and you're like, okay. I don't know, man.
Well, we actually start out the TV show differently.
Yes, so it's like it's a dream / flashback? That's my question. I know,
but I think it's a flashback.
It's a flashback dream.
That he's having, a dream he's having of a flashback.
Yeah, because it's made kind of clear that this is something that did happen, and then it like kind of turns into a nightmare. So it's like he's remembering / dreaming of this time that they were in the pool with his mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, come on, you gotta swim. I don't know. I just find it so unrealistic that Percy could ever be afraid of water, being the son of Poseidon.
100%.
It just doesn't make sense. It's just not realistic.
100%.
Now, I get the purpose of it. It's to, like, it's just to show more of Sally. You get more of their relationship, and Percy being, like, sweet and saying, like, you just have to breathe. And that comes up later in this episode when he's underwater.
Exactly. And so it's a foreshadowing for what's going to happen.
Nereid. I don't know.
I'm sure one of those was right.
The water spirit that comes to him and says, breathe, Percy, just breathe. You have to trust your father. Or before,
it was trust your mom.
But his mom was practically saying, trust your father and come swimming. But anyways, I don't know. I thought it was a weird scene to show, and
I just don't believe it.
If you're going to show the relationship, bring up the blue food. I don't know. I just don't believe he could be afraid of water ever in his entire life. He's literally the son of Poseidon.
No. And she is telling him they're there might be a time when I will not be there to help you.
Right. And you get that, like, moment where, like, oh, because he's
you
like,
know.
because he says, you're always going to be her mom.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
This poor 12-year-old Percy without his mommy.
Yes, exactly.
But I feel like they could have done other scenes that didn't involve the water. It was just, you can't have Son of Poseidon afraid of water at any point of his life. It's just, I just don't believe it. It's like Annabeth at like 3 being like, I hate books. Like, come on, that's never happened. She's always loved books. It's just how it works.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Annabeth and books and the fact that Hermione was also into books, and like, was there any kind of comparison? Like, did he read Harry Potter right before this?
I don't know. Like, there's definitely similarities. You know, the 3 main characters, 1 girl and 2 boys.
Yeah.
And it's like the main character is the, you know, the prophesied one. And then the bookish side chick. Yeah. And then the, like, comedy relief.
Yeah, it really is.
But, like, more in the world. Like, it is very similar. And I don't know if... I don't believe that Rick consciously, like, made those comparisons, but I feel like when I do any writing, I'm pulling from, like, I can't even remember when, but, like, I'm like, this story or this story. So many different stories I've read and just, like, picking phrases or words or scenarios that I really liked and putting them together. You know, have you seen videos where people compare Star Wars to Harry Potter? And you see, like, how similar that is, too? Like, there's only so many ideas. And eventually they just start to overlap because you want them to have an interesting backstory or an interesting future, and there's only so many ways you can do that.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know. I think they all just seep into each other.
Yeah, maybe.
Hive mind version.
Right, exactly. So then you suddenly find little Percy on this... It's the same landscape.
Weird
landscape.
Hilly desert.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But the cool thing about it that I really liked, kudos to the guy who plays him, is he was freezing, like he suddenly got plucked out of the water. He's standing there hunched over, shaking a little bit, cold and wet, and I just thought that was actually really cool.
Because it's like windy.
Yeah.
I know.
You get the idea that the wind is blowing this wet body, and he's just like, oh my gosh. Anyways, what a good job for that actor.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know his name, but I've heard it before, but I can't remember.
He did a great young Percy.
He did a great...
So good.
So perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if we said this on the pod already, but when we first saw young Percy, whatever first time we saw him in the show, we weren't sure if it was a different actor altogether or if it was like a different actor's body, but CGI like face. Yeah. Like a, you know, they can like
Walker's
de-age
face,
or age, like just with AI. I thought it was just like a de-aged version of Walker on a different person's face. Like it looks so much like it could be a younger version of him. They did like that casting, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
so
that was
good.
Amazing.
And then just another fantastic child actor.
I know, really good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can't always know exactly how great you're going to get it. And I feel like all their acting is amazing.
I feel like child actors are like more
and more better than adult actors.
I feel like more of them are like, back in the day, I feel like it was so much harder to find really good child actors. And now I feel like they're just like sprouting like left and right. Like I don't know. I've seen so many great shows with kids that I just can't believe that this like 6-year-old is like this realistic.
It's just a bunch of famous actors reincarnating.
Makes perfect sense to me. I believe it.
Yep. Okay, so this dream, again, I feel like we're just saying over and again how much at least I don't like this character of this, it's supposed to be Cronus.
Yeah.
I do wonder, though, I mean, maybe I'm dumb for asking this, maybe it's obvious, but that, like, falling down, crumbling land, is that supposed to represent the pit that we get in the dreams in the book?
I guess so.
I don't know. To me, it just looks like the world is falling apart and he's about to fall into it, which...
It's just that these are supposed to be, like, terrifying nightmares he's having, and they're just not that scary. Maybe they tried to make it less scary, whatever, but, like, Percy, these nightmares are, like, keeping him up. He's not able to sleep well. Like,
well, they're not showing what it's doing to Percy. You're right, and we get into his head in the books. But I still think this could be scary. Yeah, if you're in that spot, if you're suddenly, I can see that being scary. Not scary, maybe.
I guess the difference is in the book. You know, like he can feel the actual evil presence of Cronus. It's not just a dream. Like demigods don't just have dreams. Like it's like he's transported to wherever Cronus wants him to.
Almost
be.
like
and he can feel it. Feel the evilness. And you can't. Maybe you just can't portray that as well.
Yeah, you almost feel like in the books, you almost feel like that in your dreams, you can almost get trapped or even taken or even killed. Like they're so real that there's something more to it than just a dream, like your essence is there or something.
Yeah, like a part of you is actually there, and that this evil, like, he's so powerful and so evil that he could actually control you or manipulate you or get to you just through your dreams. And I guess he does to Luke, to Ares. Like, Cronus does actually get to these people through their dreams, so it is, like, really actually scary.
Oh yeah, he like is what's the word? Not blackmailing. He's
manipulating
these, and you get that from the book, but you don't ever get in this episode. No. Is how he manipulates Luke and he manipulates Ares. Yeah,
through their dreams.
Through the dreams, yeah.
So it's like real. He's using real power to connect with these demigods and gods, and I just don't get that vibe in the TV show. It's just like. It's more like he's like, ooh, I'm spooky. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh. I hate that they use that figure. I wish they would have talked to me first. I have so many ideas. But it might be hard unless you had Percy explaining the dreams. It might be hard to actually feel what he felt. So I will tell you, this is, again, it corresponds with the dream in the book then. So in chapter 12, the chapter that is not in the episode, he has a dream that night in the forest. And so this is, again, he's having a dream. It's the same time period. It's just not the same dream. And I just wanted to say, like, he is standing at a dark cavern looking in a gaping pit, which we discover later on in the book where they actually end up there, right?
They go there.
Yeah, and the spirits of the dead are trying to pull him back in this dream, which is an interesting little, like, evidence that it's not Lord Hades, because they wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
They're like trying to get him away from this. But he feels compelled to go to the edge, of course, because whatever. But it's a big pit, and he's talking about, like, feels like something was trying to rise. It's really
because he feels himself getting pulled down, but he's like, it's less like something's trying to pull me, and more like it's trying to, like, climb up me.
Yeah. Which, it when you hear about how all it works with Kronos, it makes a little sense. Yeah.
What he's trying to do.
And he does say, so Kronos does speak to him more here. So each dream he speaks more. This one time he says, the little hero, too weak, too young, but perhaps you will do. Now, in the previous dream of the episode, the last dream we had, he also says weak and young and all this stuff. But he doesn't give this perhaps you will do type of feeling.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's going to try to use Percy in the TV show. He seems like he just doesn't like him.
I know. He's just insulting him. Yeah. He's trying to bring his morale down maybe or something.
But like in this, he's actually like, oh, I'm going to try to, like, throughout all of the books, he still wants to use Percy. Of course, why would he not? He's like the most, he's a very powerful demigod.
Yeah.
Why would he not try to use him? But he, like, never gives up that dream, Kronos, of, like, using Percy to do something in his plan.
Yeah, until it's over. Yeah. And he also says, they have misled you, boy. Barter with me, I will give you what you want.
Which I guess is his mom, but Kronos doesn't have his mom.
No, and I do think, then it shows the image of his mom. Yeah, so he's saying, I can give you your mom. Well, I mean, I think he's saying like, that if he eventually kills all the gods,
Hades, then your mom will be fine.
Yeah.
But that is another way why Percy's like, oh, of course it has to be Hades, because of course that's who has my mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And then he says, like, help me rise, boy, bring me the bolt. So he says, bring me the bolt.
Right.
Strike a blow against the treacherous gods. And then the spirits are all saying, wake, 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 you know.
And I don't know if Percy remembers this dream, but...
He does.
Does he ask, like, why is Hades saying to bring me the bolts?
And I'm going to get to that when we get to the train. I'll talk about that discussion. But so that was interesting. That's just, again, it was like, it's signs that this is not what it seems to be at all.
No.
Yeah. So that's the total differences between the dreams. Because in the episode, I don't remember what he says. It's just, man, did I write that down? He says a forbidden child attracts attention. Something like that.
Yeah.
then he says, okay, this threw me off. She is coming. That's said right before the ground falls.
Oh, yeah.
What?
She is a kid now, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was like, suddenly I thought we were in the next series where we're talking about Mother Earth. I was like, what? What are we talking about? Okay, so she is coming. The kid. So, but see, that's indicating that Kronos. Yeah, but he didn't. Well, I said that he did not.
No.
Zeus did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the gods are sending
all these things. This is all the gods,
to Percy. Right? Because the Furies think he has the Helm of Darkness.
Yep.
And Zeus thinks he has the Master Bolt. So he has neither of these things. But these monsters that are coming after him, except for the Hellhound in Camp Half-Blood, that was Luke.
Yeah.
But
which you don't find out until the very end of the book, but that's fine.
Yeah. But these monsters coming after him are from the gods. Cronus can't send monsters.
No, the most he's doing right now is manipulating these. Well, you know,
You'd have to be
manipulating.
You'd
Luke
have to be Tartarus to be able to send monsters, because Tartarus is like a living, like
Oh,
so
yeah,
Cronus is
that's
in
right.
Tartarus, but Tartarus itself is like a living person underneath the earth.
I got
and
the
then
idea that
arranged.
Cronus is not even in Tartarus. Like, he's even more
He's
farther
in like
down.
the deepest, darkest pits of Tartarus. He's
Yeah.
in Tartarus. He's just like the farthest down you can
Yeah.
be in Tartarus.
The worst cell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he can't even send anything. He can have Luke do things. Like having like someone on above, like being able to capture monsters, trap them, and use them for your own evil. That's something that Luke can do, but Cronus can't do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever.
And that maybe he just knows she's coming, so he
Because
says
he's
that.
powerful. I don't know.
Anyways, it was just weird. I was like, okay, fine. And that ends the dream, and that ends that scene.
Yeah. So now he wakes up on the train, and he's like, "You awake?" And then there's like a long beat of silence, and then Annabeth's like, "Yes."
No, I think he says, "Are you sleeping?" And she says, "Yes."
Yeah, whatever. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Or he says, "You're awake," and she says, "No." Whatever one it is.
It was the other one. It was
Okay.
Like, it was like, "Are you sleeping?"
Yeah.
And there was just silence. It was like, "Yes." So funny.
I'm assuming it's like really early morning at that point. Like, he woke up really early, because then
they go to breakfast.
Yeah, I
a
kind
bit
of
later.
feel like it's like right before dawn or something.
Yeah, like go to 5 a.m. or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we in this conversation, which is a conversation that I like, it's similar to parts of the book, but
Mm-hmm.
we do get this first hint that's different from the books, where Percy talks about how like people who you care about or care about you shouldn't treat you this way, meaning like you need to sacrifice
And you need
to
to
get their attention, or you have to beat
that
someone up to get their attention. Like, if these people are people who are close to you, they shouldn't treat you this way. And Annabeth is like, it's not just the gods, right? She's basically saying like mortals, humans, and like anyone can be this mean. At least with the gods, there's rules,
Right.
you know, there's structure. You know what you have to do to earn their approval, and that's just how it works.
Right.
But yeah, so this is like, that part of it is different. But she does then talk about her father and her stepmother, and that's pretty on track for how it is in the books. How,
Yes.
like, her, you know, she's a gift from Athena, she's born of a thought.
Oh,
her
not
dad.
totally. So
It's
in
not
the
totally,
books-
but we get a similar backstory
okay.
about her.
It's the backstory. Yes.
Yeah. I know it doesn't all happen the same way in the same conversation, but it is her backstory. It is her backstory that she was
But
a
she
gift.
changes the backstory in the TV show just a little bit, because in that book, she actually says that from the beginning, he felt like she was an inconvenience, and he tried to send her back, and her mom was like, "No, they have to be raised by their mortal parents."
Yeah.
And so she said from the beginning, where in the TV show, which actually was nicer. It's nicer for everybody to think this way, that he actually was really happy and thought she was a gift in the beginning.
Until the stepmom showed up.
I was kind of sad when I forgot that, and when I was reading the book chapter again and realized that from the beginning, because you learn to like her dad later.
Yeah, so this is her perspective of it, in the way.
I don't know though, because I think she says that he told her.
Did he try to send her?
Yeah.
Or maybe Athena mentioned something.
Yeah.
I know that she's not lying about everything, but we do learn in a later book. Spoiler warning, skip ahead 2.5 minutes to avoid spoilers about Annabeth's parents. You know, the way that she talked about her stepmom was like, as if her stepmom was like really bad and like really evil, and like hated her and hated all demigods. And when they meet Annabeth's stepmom, she like offers them cookies. She's super nice. When the dad has to run off in a helicopter to go save them or whatever it was, she's supportive. Like, so we learned that maybe things were rough, and maybe there was some fighting, and it might not have always been easy, but the stepmom says, like, I want her to know she always has a home with us. Like, they're not, her parents...
And the stepmom could have changed. We don't really know. Because,
we don't know everything, but
Yeah.
we do know that, like, when Percy meets Annabeth's parents, he's like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. And you kind of just get the idea that, like, from Annabeth's perspective, she's not lying. It just, she maybe internalized things a bit more than what was really their thoughts on the matter.
He was also a professor, and
he was very scatterbrained.
Yeah, so
I
you
wonder
get the
if
idea of that
he
kind
didn't
of
think he could take care of a child.
That's what I'm just thinking. You get the idea of that kind of professor who's just like forgets where he puts his glasses and forgets to feed himself and and he's suddenly like, oh my gosh, I have to raise a child. So maybe when he was trying to return her, it wasn't because he didn't love her, but more because he's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose the child under a pile of papers.
I'm gonna forget that I put her in the car or something. You know, she was 7 when she left, so. Between the ages of 0 and 7, her perspective on things is just different than understanding real life adult struggles.
Yeah. I do think there was problems with the stepmom because if you remember her memory about the spiders, the stepmom literally says like a few things that are mean in that, and I can't remember what they are, so I'm not going to try to make them up.
And if she was if Annabeth was really putting the mom's kids, like, you know, her...
In danger,
I'm sure that she did lash out from time to time, but maybe it wasn't always as bad, or maybe it was for a few years or a year really bad, and that's when Annabeth left. Like, maybe it was okay for a bit, and then it got really bad at a certain point, and she just was like, I'm out.
She's basically saying, I don't really believe in just love being love for love's sake. Like, you have to work for it, you have to earn it, you have to prove your trust before you can get it, and that's kind of
not just the gods. She's saying like that can happen. That's everyone.
Yeah,
that Percy doesn't accept that,
and he's right, of course.
So that isn't how it should be. Period.
Yeah. And that's the whole TV series conversation, which is interesting because that leads us to then the next episode, I believe, which is the tunnel of love. It leads us to her conversation with
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus. I say his name wrong all the time.
Yeah, it does. And
so it is an interesting that you get to see Annabeth sort of change because of his influence.
Percy, because he is unconditional in his loyalty and in his love.
Yeah.
Aww. Just period.
So sweet.
Yeah. He is. Yeah. He's like, if you're on my team, I will die for you. Like, that's how Percy is.
Well, they don't have a sleeper car in the book because they didn't have the money they in fact specifically say we didn't have enough money to get a sleeper car, so they slept in the really uncomfortable chairs. And do you remember he was like saying he was trying not to drool while he slept because Annabeth was right there.
Yeah.
And then like Grover's like hat kept like falling off his head, and Annabeth and him would like adjust it to cover his horns. Yeah. I don't know why they did that when like a monster could walk down the aisle and everybody thinks it's an old lady, but whatever.
I know. I mean, they do kind of just think that the mist for the monster rules are just different than for like they have a weird understanding of the mist, meaning they don't understand the mist,
they don't,
and so
they don't really
just err on the side of caution.
Yeah, because they can't see it that way.
I mean, the one time that Percy is holding a sword and gets caught by muggles in this very book, they say it's like a baseball bat or something.
Don't they say what it is?
The police say that like
maybe
something about a baseball bat, and then later when he's fighting with Ares, the mortals think they're holding a shock. The Ares was holding a shock.
What were they doing with the shock? Okay, never mind. We'll talk about that when we get there. Yeah. I had a bunch of thoughts. Okay, yeah. So they in the book then they are on the train. They do not have the sleeper car moment. They do not have that conversation, but they do have conversations on the train. Him and Annabeth do talk for a while, so I kind of like that.
And very well.
Yeah, so that was fine. Fine. So they had a sleeper car. They had to have the sleeper car in order to do the rest of the scene in the TV show.
Right.
Because otherwise they wouldn't be able to have that big mess and all that stuff. Yeah, that's why they have that. And that's okay. Somehow they had we don't even know how they got their money, but somehow they got a lot of money.
Yeah, maybe Grover sold many poodles back to their owners.
They decided to do that in between seasons in between episodes, and just didn't tell us about it.
Exactly. So then they wake up Grover, and Grover's all grumpy, and it's like funny and cute, and it's like he's very grumpy when he doesn't get enough sleep, and then he's like, "Who's grumpy?" or whatever.
No, it's something about froofy. They use the word froofy, and then he goes, "Who's froofy? You're froofy. What's froofy?" And then he goes something about, "I need to eat
some food."
I need some food.
Yeah, it's just a silly, cute, break the tension moment, and now they're eating.
Wait, no. Before you get to that, I just want to point out. In the book, you realize that Percy actually at this point still does not know at all about Talia and Luke being with Annabeth. So they actually, I just didn't realize that, but in the TV show, he already knows about that.
Yeah, he knows about Luke and Annabeth like right from the start of camp.
And Grover, he knows. He also had found out already that Grover was there.
Yeah, Grover at Medusa.
Yeah, so this hasn't happened yet. This is the first time in this scene in the book. This is chapter 13, by the way. Because we skipped chapter 12. But this is the first time where she brings up that she that she ran away and that she found 2 demigods. But she doesn't say anything about who they are yet.
She said she ran away from home and 2 demigods found her.
Or something like that.
Whatever.
I can't remember, but...
And they were like a family.
I wasn't alone. I made a couple of unexpected friends who took care of me for a short time anyway. She actually doesn't say anything else. Oh. And then in the book, it goes straight from here into pulling up at St. Louis.
Right.
Page later. So now this is where things really change, because in the book we don't meet Echidna until they actually get to the top of actually in the elevator on the way up, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's when they decide to show her. Sorry. The arch. I'm talking about the arch, yeah. But here they actually get to meet her on the train, which is what's getting them to stop at St. Louis. Where in the book they had to stop at St. Louis. They had like a 6-hour layover. And Annabeth, because she wants to be an architect, which we don't find out until right now, but we don't ever find out, I don't think, in the...
Well, we don't find out that she specifically wants to be an architect, but she does talk very highly of the St. Louis Arch in the TV show. She says how it's held up by math and it's perfect and it's beautiful and this is how you show Athena your love. Like, she's really hyped. Like, she does know a lot about it. Sure, but you get it because you get her interest in it because it's in Athena's... One of Athena's, like, temples or whatever
you call it. Yeah, where she's just like, we're going to go sightseeing. I really want to see the arch. It's so cool. She gushes about it because she wants to be an architect. And that's when Percy's like, you want to be an architect? And laughs at her, which I'm just like, rude.
I know. But then when he thinks about why he's laughing, he's like, no specific reason. It just seems so, like, normal.
No, he thought it was weird to think that she could actually sit still that long.
Oh, really? Is that what it was? To, like, go over papers?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're also, like,
he goes, I don't know why, but I found it funny. Just the idea of Annabeth trying to sit quietly and draw all day.
Oh.
Anyways, but yeah, he apologizes for saying that about her. But, so that this whole thing is for her to go see the architecture. And
so they had to stop, though. It wasn't like they were like, oh, let's purposefully delay our trip to... You know, like, they had a layover. They had to wait until the next train was available. And to get back on
until it went to Denver.
And it was 6 hours, so we might as well go sightseeing.
Exactly.
Although, come on, Annabeth. I mean, book Annabeth does this, but TV show Annabeth is way more cautious with Percy. I'm just saying.
Would never go sightseeing.
I know, but, like, even if she had that urge, she'd be like, you sit on the train for 6 hours.
By the toilet.
Yeah, right? Because, I'm sorry, but, like... TV show Annabeth makes great points about how, like, the monsters are going to be specifically after you. They can smell you. You're really powerful. But this one, she's like, let's just wander around downtown, like, St. Louis, just the 3 of us. I'm sorry. But anyways.
Okay.
These are reasons
I just thought it was a moment that Annabeth was actually wanted to be normal and just be normal kids. And so, fine, she was incautious. But it was like, it's kind of a cute moment, like, we're gonna go see the art.
Yeah, and she's, like, never been out and about for, like, I mean, since she was a kid.
Yeah.
And she's never seen
it. This is a big deal to her.
It is.
We don't get that. We do not get that part of Annabeth yet.
Not yet. I hope we get to it. I mean, because... Spoiler warning. Skip ahead 30 seconds to avoid spoilers about book 5. Like, kind of a big spoiler, but... Eventually, Annabeth gets tasked with rebuilding Mount Olympus after, like, the war. The big final battle happens and lots of Olympus gets destroyed. And because she's an architect and this is her dream and because she has the laptop and everything, she gets to rebuild Olympus, like her dream job. And that's such a beautiful character moment.
And you feel that for her because you know
from book 1. So I just hope they do bring it up eventually.
Yeah. Okay, good. So we do get this change now. So I can't compare this particularly to the book. But we do get, at the very end of the sleeper car scene, kind of end, like they say, okay, it's morning, we should get breakfast. And then you get this outside scene where something flies and crashes in the window.
Like, how is she flying? How is Echidna flying?
No clue.
Because in the
do not know.
And also, it's not like she's flying like how the Fury's flying. It's like a ball of fire just like hits it.
I watched it again and I can't tell. It doesn't even look like a ball of fire. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe the mother of monsters, Echidna, maybe she can take that shape and we're just looking at her human form.
Well, we know from the book that she at least has like a forked tongue or something.
Like they never show that in the
She is a little monstrous herself, but I'm just trying to figure out.
She doesn't have wings.
How she did that. Like, did someone throw her? Did someone, like, launch her from a cannon into this train? Like, how did she fly through a window?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have questions.
So many questions. Yeah, no, I was looking right now in the book description. She's more like reptilian.
Yeah.
And not like a bird.
No.
So who knows? Somehow she flies through there.
Maybe
Maybe she was already there. And she has some other monster child that could fly in and make the mask for her. And it left.
Great.
It was like, I got other things to do, Ma, but I'll break the glass and mess up the room and leave.
I believe it.
Okay, good.
I like it. I'll take it. Head
We
cannon.
figured it out.
We did it. So, good. So we see that, and then, boom, they're eating. So, like, you just see it.
Eating?
Yeah.
I thought they were just sitting in the train looking out the window. Were they eating?
Well,
I guess I
they're
didn't
having
notice.
breakfast, but I don't know if they've started eating yet. But you can tell this is, like, the dining area
Okay.
of the train.
Okay.
And they went to have breakfast. I can't remember now if they actually have any food or not. But to me, it was clear that this is breakfast.
Yeah.
And now Grover talks about Pan. Because they look out the window, they see the centaurs, and then they talk about the wild getting less and less, and boom, we get Pan and Grover's quest, and what a searcher is, and that's what Uncle Ferdinand was, and I'm like, yay! We finally get Grover's quest, his journey, his purpose, and this is great.
Yeah, and that lines up pretty good because that's in the chapter that did not happen, but that's close enough.
Yep.
But you just have to mention how cute it was when he's like, before that conversation, Percy says, "Can I ask a dumb question?" Yeah. And then Annabeth says, it's like you need me to make fun of you.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so cute.
It's just like, this slowly starts happening, starting here on the train and ending right before Ares picks them up on the side of the road, where Percy's like just starting to catch up with like the quest, because he's so like hyper focused on his mom, and that's it, and that's why he's there and whatever. But like, you know, as the journey goes along, he does get more invested in the quest itself.
He starts realizing
when his father
more
saves him in the water and etc. So, but he's like slowly catching up to what it all means, and it's just so funny because the other two are like already there, like they already know what's up, or they've already thought about it.
But bad communication, people. Come on, why don't you talk to Percy? Although these books are literally just like Harry Potter, right? It's like all based on no communication.
Yeah, well, they probably assumed that he had already also thought about that, because I don't think it's like Grover and Annabeth are talking to each other without Percy. It's just like Grover and Annabeth are like, oh yeah, we understand what's happening. But Percy hasn't even thought about it yet. And now he starts thinking about it. He's like, wait a second. They're like, uh-huh.
Sure, but if they were talking and strategizing at all about what to do or what's happening, you think they'd bring these things up,
right?
You know?
Well, just thinking about it, like on the cab ride over, I don't know, it doesn't seem like they talk that much. We don't really know. And then on the bus, they were all arguing, yeah. And then they're fighting for their lives. Like, you know, that it's like it's the Furies, it's Medusa, it's the Furies, and now they're on the train, and then their first
they do get time to talk.
Conversation is, so how do we find, like Percy says, like, how do we find the entrance to Hades once we're in Los Angeles? And Grover's like, oh, that's step 37. We're on step 4. You know, like,
which wasn't very helpful, but okay.
Yeah, he's like, we don't know, but like that's not even something we need to worry about right now. We have to get over there first alive, you know. So they do kind of talk about it, but not very much. They don't really have a plan. Yeah.
And again, we don't get any of this, the fact that like Percy keeps showing up on the news. Like throughout the whole book, he is in the news constantly. And everything that happens, they talk about him. Right. So in this scene, in chapter 13, not the TV show, he finds a Trenton. Sorry, I think you don't pronounce the T in that. Trenton Register News. And it's something about him then having accosted several elderly female passengers on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
So every time something happens,
then flee the bus, like the exploding bus.
Yeah, and they basically have it, the story is changed to fit the mortals, because they don't know what's really happening. And it's always him being some like dangerous criminal, but this time he's got two, I think it mentions that he has a couple accomplices with him. Yeah. And they're fleeing the bus and stuff. So like you kind of follow throughout the book all these little scenes where the news is like following him.
Right, know? And then at the very end, when Ares and him get into the fight on the beach, they're all like, oh, he was kidnapped he was a victim. Yeah, he was a victim. And then they're like, oh, we're so proud of you for like surviving that. And that's when he's like, my stepfather wants to give everyone free appliances.
Oh my gosh. Oh, geez.
What an amazing time. And yeah, so we do get this entire, like, it just weaves into the entire book.
Yeah.
And they just ignore that in the... Well, no, we get that one scene with Ares.
We do get the one scene. And again, when you have a little bit of time, that's probably something you can drop out.
Yeah.
It just was a kind of
And they do
fun...
bring it up one time,
Yeah.
which, you know, is better than some of the things that they bring up 0 times, like the Nectar and Ambrosia, so...
Exactly. So yeah, they're having the conversation. You see the centaurs outside. So in the book, you see the centaurs outside. He notices that no one notices them.
Yeah.
You don't hear about how there's less and less centaurs because...
Yeah, because that's not really the centaur's story in the books.
No,
but
but I
it's not
think
that we
that's...
hear.
That's just how they introduce Pan to this
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, it could be true. There could have been more once upon a time, and now there's less. We don't know because they never mention it in the book.
Maybe this is how they're telling us it happened.
Exactly.
Also, he also sees in the book, the lion. Where did it say that? Like, he mentions something about seeing the centaurs, and he says he saw something huge moving through the woods. I could have sworn it was a lion, except the lions don't live wild in America, and this thing was the size of a Hummer. Its fur glinted gold in the evening light. So this is a
Nemean lion.
Yeah, which we meet later. Right. But I just thought that was kind of cool, like a little sort of hint of something to come later.
Yeah, more monsters that you can run into.
Yeah. Anyways, so that happened, but I really loved that they showed the centaurs because I liked the fact that he could see it out the window when he was doing that. So I just liked that they did that.
And then after they talk about the centaurs, Percy brings up the prophecy again.
Yes.
And he's like, so are we not worried about the fact that we're going to fail what matters most in the end or whatever? And then this is when Annabeth says something that I'm like, yes, at least, like, this is, like, her true wisdom shining through about
the
how,
wise
like,
words
you
of Annabeth.
cannot try to figure out a prophecy. You're just going to dig yourself deeper, like, in a hole. Mm-hmm. You just have to believe that, like, there's lots of meanings to a lot of different words. There's lots of meanings to different phrases. It's just going to happen the way it's going to happen. It's more like a guide, less like, you know, something you need to try to unravel or read into too much. So
exactly. Like, I mean, look what happened to Voldemort when he tried to follow the prophecy.
He destroyed
himself. Learned the wrong way. Don't do that, Percy.
Yeah, and like that's like the tragedy of like many Greek stories is like people getting a prophecy and then in the effort to reverse it or change it or anything, they just create the problem.
Yeah, I think we've had this conversation. I'm having a little deja vu.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going into the details because we already talked about this already. But there's more than one story like that. That's just like the most like glaringly like you literally caused your own problem by trying to avoid the problem story. Yeah, exactly. So she's so right here, and it's true. Like what matters most could mean so many things. It's it could mean a lot of things depending on the perspective of the person. And everything. So.
Right. And it does really, it does have its meaning when you find out what it's for.
Yeah.
And it makes sense and it goes along fine and everything really works out okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Before we go out of this scene, I wanted to bring it up because we mentioned this earlier. So this is in the train is when they talk about his dream, the dream that I read to you in the book.
Right.
And he explains the dream to her. To Annabeth, and she says that doesn't sound like Hades. He always appears on a black throne, and he never laughs. So you had mentioned this before, because we thought maybe there was a throne, but there wasn't a throne in the dream. It's just the fact that
Annabeth,
someone was talking to him, and he wasn't on a black throne.
Right. I know. I realized that. I think when I listened to that episode.
And this is where he's starting to think like there's something weird going on because it's like, why would you be asking for this? Like, why would he ask you to bring him the Master Bolt if he already has it? Like, she brings that up. And then he starts thinking about how the Furies on the bus were looking for something, saying, where is it? So they're thinking of things. And then she talks a little bit more about Hades and how you can't barter with him for his mom.
Yeah.
And that's actually where they get into the conversation about her dad because he's like, come on, you would do it if it was your dad about like trying to barter for, and she was like, no, I wouldn't. And that's where she starts talking about her dad didn't like her.
Which is a crazy thing to say.
I mean,
I would not try to barter for my dad's life, but whatever, it's how she feels in the moment, so.
Yeah. So that kind of, does that end for you, that scene before the police officer comes?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good. So now these police officer trained.
It was just the guy, I think, that shows up,
guard,
right?
Whatever he is.
Oh, I guess it must be like train security.
Yeah, he shows up and he's like, "Are you in? Oh, can I see your tickets? And like, is this your room? Whatever." And I just love Annabeth here. Who's like, "I'm sorry, are we under arrest?" Like she's like, "I know my rights." Like,
well, first you see this room and you see that it's been vandalized and the window is broken.
And there's giant scratch marks, like, in the metal, like, giant claw strap. I'm sorry, but this guy is either the mist is hiding this from him, or he's, like, the dumbest security guard.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if we're seeing what they see, and he's seeing something that the mist is hiding. I don't know.
Maybe it's at least hiding, like, the claw marks. If there's, like, giant metal claw, like, how would these 3 children make these claw marks?
Yeah.
In the metal of the train.
And you do get the idea when you first see this, you think, oh my gosh, they're looking for the master bolt. I mean, that's what I thought. Like, I was like,
it's a
someone came, because I also didn't expect Echidna to show up on the train because she's not supposed to. So when I saw that, I thought,
through the window, I thought it was another Fury.
Yeah, that's the smartest thing.
Whatever.
Oh, but see, what if it was a Fury who like couldn't find it and she just happened to be on the train? She's like, well, this is a great time to get them in trouble.
I was already gonna kill them. Now we have a good opportunity. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's just really weird. But I really got the idea that maybe they were trying to find the bolt. And who knows if that was meant to be that way or if it was literally just a setup to get them in the same car with her.
They weren't in the room when it happened, so it seems like a crappy attack. But great time to look through someone's stuff when they're not in the room.
But it was so early in the morning when it went through the window. Maybe they were like thinking, oh, they're still sleeping, you know? Like what teenagers wake up at the crack of dawn?
Right. However, we know that Echidna didn't want to like show up and kill them in their sleep. She wanted her little baby to be able to hunt them. Yeah. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
I feel like it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. We're trying to make up sense for it.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, and maybe there was a scene cut and something that made it make more sense. But I'm not really sure what's going on.
In the whole conversation that when them standing there with the police officer or security guard or whatever, and Annabeth and Percy and Grover, and how they each react to the police officer is so funny.
You can't think this is us, right?
Like, wait, you think we did this? And then he said, did you? And then Percy doesn't say no. I just thought that was weird. He was like, well, how? I don't know what he does.
Yeah,
he asked a question like, how? How would we do this? Or why would we do this to ourselves? Anyways, but I love how Annabeth was totally like in control, and she's like, are we under arrest?
Yeah.
And he's like,
you don't want to take that tone.
Yeah. God. And then she goes, are we under arrest?
Yeah.
It was very...
And then it just cuts right to them, like, basically being detained on the train. Like, they're not in cuffs or anything, but they're sitting there and they're like, guard.
And it's right by, like, a bar. It's like a different car than they were in before, because there's, like, a... If you look in the distance, but in that car, there's, like a bar kind of setup, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're in a different car now. And oh, that's right. They had pointed out, that lady over there heard kid voice, breaking glass.
And the sound of kids' laughter. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get up to this scene where we're just about to meet Echidna. Yeah. But right before that, I love how Percy says something like, wait, so we're just killing time, right? Until we realize that guy is a werewolf.
A werewolf. Yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't think that's a monster. And he's like, well then what's going on
here? Yeah, and then I don't know if it's Grover and Annabeth, but one of them said, like, I don't know, but we do not have time to sit in, like, a police station all day.
Yeah. She's like, this is not going to be good for our quest, basically. She didn't say that, but that's what she meant, yeah.
So she's like, I don't know what's going on, but there's no way that we can, like, go along with this. We don't have the time.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we come up to meeting Echidna, which we will save for next episode.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
she is... There's a lot to say about her.
There's a lot to say about her, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to just be honest to everybody that I was not as prepared this episode as usual. Although, I think I said that last time. And I do not have a question. I didn't come up with any question.
If you were going to frame 3 children, what would you... What's a better thing to frame them for than destroying a window and leaving giant claw marks on the inside of a train?
Drugs.
Yeah,
or alcohol.
Right.
Just a bunch of beer bottles.
Yeah, much better. Maybe, I think I would, like, instead of the glass being shattered, if I was going to do some vandalism, I'd, like, tear up the pillows.
No, but they had to shatter the glass to get the monsters in the train. Okay, no, but that goes against what I just said earlier. Never mind, I don't know. Yeah,
couldn't you just have boarded the train?
Maybe, I don't know. So originally I just really thought they had to get in and that's how they had to. But we're going off on the fact again that we have no clue why, so never mind.
Yeah. Okay, well I would do less vandalism because realistically how those train windows are not like oopsies, I accidentally broke this train window. They're like hardcore windows.
Seriously. It was an overkill.
Yeah. So,
but of course,
I would have boarded the train at the train stop and then, like, ripped up their pillows and, like wrote in lipstick on the door.
Graffitied.
Like, screw you, police officers. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I would have done.
Oh my goodness, whatever. Okay. All right, well, I guess that ends this for now.
Yeah. We have an Instagram. It's Camp Comparisons. There's cute videos, pictures, memes, etc. And a Facebook page, Camp Comparisons Podcast. And a Twitter account, Camp Comparisons Podcast. So follow us. Hang out with us. DM us. Send us better Percy Jackson memes, because specifically show-related ones are harder to come across. So make good memes and then DM us.
Oh, I found an Instagram account that does only memes. Although, anyways, they're Percy Jackson memes. I'll have to tell you about it. But okay.
Yeah, I found a lot of movie or book memes, which aren't bad, but like the TV show specifically, because it's so new, there's less of them, and some of them I don't find funny enough to post. So there you go.
Yeah. Longer thoughts, ideas, inspirations about vandalism. Your thoughts about what really happened?
Explain to us the echidna situation. Yeah. You can email us. It's campcomparisons@gmail.com.
Yeah. And, we're a new podcast, so whatever help you can give would be great. The type of help that you can give is following us on your podcast app, like actual follow, so you can get our, what's it called? Notifications. And rating us.
Or reviewing.
Yeah. And then obviously telling other people about us, or even if you're in like a group or whatever, Discord, or I don't know, if you're any kind of Percy Jackson sort of fan group, you can mention us, but helping us get out the word, because there's not really
on Reddit.
Yeah, it's not very easy to promote something that's so specific. This is only for Percy Jackson fans. You know what I mean?
Specifically if they'd watched the show, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or have interest in the show.
So just tell people.
Yeah. Make people watch the show with you, and then send them the podcast.
Yeah.
Every day until they listen to it.
There you go. Sounds good.
Okay, until next time.
See you at camp.
Bye.